And after taking like 8 days off, we are back with another episode of Virtual Courtside with Dirk and Harris. The rest was much needed. It was kind of a mini bye week because then we have the switch next week and then we have a real bye week. But, Dirk and I are trying to keep the energy up. So took a little break. And now for the first time ever, a day of preview episode for the NBA 2K League. Games will come back tonight for the Switch Open bracket play. And with that being said, I'm here with my co-host, Dirk. Dirk, hello, sir. How you doing?
Hi, Harris. I'm doing good.
Wonderful.
Just chilling. Just vibing.
Chilling like a villain, man. We got some great 2K League games tonight that'll hopefully fill your heart and make your soul sing. Because I know it will for me, because there will be teams that lose twice tonight, and their 3v3 seasons will basically be over. And for me, that is truly what I live for, Dirk. I live for the disaster. And I mean, by the end of this week, obviously we won't have teams out tonight, but I love eliminations. I love talking about teams in memoriam. We will have a whole in memoriam episode to recap this week, so that'll be very, very fun. But without further ado, do you have any takes about the Switch Open group play before we get into Switch Open bracket play?
It was kind of shocking. I thought that there was going to be some teams that looked good in the bracket play, like just go out there and kind of dominate and do their thing. I feel like there wasn't as much established dominance, if that makes any sense at all. I thought the Pistons were going to come out a lot better from the bracket play performance. They ended up splitting 2-2. I think the biggest shock for me of how good they performed were the Heat.
Mm,
Easily, I think
he played
the
great.
Heat Check Gaming take the cake of sweeping their group. Um, like I've said the whole, yeah, if you're on an inside big, you're not going to win a tournament. Like you're not going to win a championship anymore. We're past that. They're making it seem like it could be a possibility.
Yeah.
Granted, again, you are on an inside, so you are a little bit handicapped in the way that you do have to play. If you're going up against the right team and say like if things don't go your way to start a game, maybe a couple turnovers and they capitalize, boom, you're automatically fighting off the back foot. So that's the one thing I kind of wanted to highlight. I think other than that, I think the rest of it played out, pretty as expected. I thought we are gonna get a lot more from the T Wolves. We're going back over to their
Hmm.
typical lineup as well. Good to see the Mavs finally bounce back, split even with the 2 wins. What they ended up 0-2, and then they won 2 in a row, I
Yep.
believe, for the Mavs group play. So
Fana went
good to
crazy.
see them back in the mix. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how everything goes.
Yeah, shout out to Fana. Just want to quick shout out for Mavs Gaming, man. Looked like their whole season was over, and then they just kind of woke up, had two great series to close out the week. Again, really saved them. Who was it against? Oh, I gotta pull this up. Mavs Gaming took down Blazer 5 in a 3-game sweep, and Pacers Gaming on a 3-game sweep. So two nice West Coast wins for them. Got to be feeling good. So. For me, Dirk, I'm kind of with you. I think what the Heat are doing is borderline astonishing. I think the Celtics were like sneaky one of the best teams
Mhm.
during this past week. I think they're starting to come on a big way. They went 11-5. A couple teams struggled, man. I'm starting to get a little worried about the Nets. People got mad at me, Dirk. I didn't put Greens in my MVP top 6, and I kind of stand on it. They have been on a real slide here over the past like 2 weeks. So obviously the MVP race is not over, but Greens is going to need to have a monster switch open. I think to get this Nets GC team like really up there to be contending for a title. I think they're right on that second frame, but a 6-11 record during the switch is just not what we expected coming off of such a dominant group play back at the Slam.
Well, who were your top six? Sorry if I missed it.
My MVP top 6. Let me pull it back up because it was a couple of days ago, and some people liked it, some people didn't like it. Here we go: Shifty Kai, Gallo, Unguardable, Dietrich, Vandy, Loki, Godlike, and then on the outside I had Leche, Malik, YoVC, and Connor as kind of that next tier downwards. You could probably put Greens in there, and it might be a little unfair to have him low, but I feel like there have been a bunch of guards who have kind of passed him up this year, just from threes alone. I mean, there are teams that are winning and there are teams that are not, and you kind of have to go with that trend.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with your list. I don't think he's done anything so far this year to where it's like, damn, like he's a clear cut candidate. I mean, even when you're looking at the Slam, the way that they went out there, it was weird. And then in the Switch, they come out completely flat footed and only win one series that they played. So
His
I think
shooting,
it's valid.
his 3-point shooting, still has not recovered in the way that I was really hoping that it would. He is at 47.2% of the season, so it is a small jump that he has had, but he's still still having struggles, and that team is very reliant on his 3-point shooting because Steez and Streets, they have kind of regressed to the mean a little bit. They're still very good players, but they were shooting with flames out of their head for the first couple weeks of the season. So we'll see how the Nets do. But yeah, any other thoughts on group play before we get into bracket play?
No, I think we kind of hit the nail on the head on everything.
All right. Let's get into our first matchup. We'll just go through all the first matchups. We'll talk about each team, and then we'll give some predictions for who we think is going to win the Switch Open. So let's start. Heat Check Gaming versus Team Glitchy. Team Glitchy returns again. Heat Check Gaming absolutely on top of the world right now. Tough to see this going any way other than the Heat's sweep, or do you think Glitchy will get a game or two?
I think maybe get a game, but I think the Heat will get it. The way that the style that they're playing at, and this is the style that makes you a believer. Like, it's like the perfect recipe. Whenever we talk about, oh, they're running an inside, but you need the correct guard to play with it. You need a guard like Kai, which fits in perfectly, like with your typical stage guy, dribble heavy, willing to shoot absolute crack. And with the hopes that maybe they green that lightly contested or just sets up a free board for Dietrich, then they can continue like moving off ball. Screens will be set by Maddie. That's like Kai is the prototype of what you need to follow if you want to be able to run it inside. If you do not play like Kai, which is very limited, there's not a lot of guards that do play like Kai, you will not have success with the inside. Yeah. MDS is kind of like one of those guys who's fallen behind. That's why those two teams have had the most success with it. Yeah. But like if you come out with a CB13 play style, an Ant play style with that inside big, there's not a chance in hell you're going to make any type of like noise.
It's starting to turn on teams a bit. The inside it started to turn on the Sixers a little bit. Their offense started to scull a little bit. The Bucks tried it, did not work out for the Bucks. The Jazz went away from it, had a great week. Who are the other teams that tried it this week? The Nets tried it, got what 0-2 and swept, I believe, at one point.
The Warriors tried it.
The Warriors tried it. Nothing. The only team that the Hornets kind of tried it. We'll get to the Hornets in a bit. But yeah, I think that's why again Dietrich is the MVP or on the MVP list for me, because what they're doing on that build is really special, and I think it's kind of like just a Dietrich thing at this point. It feels like a coming out party.
It's my like thoughts on the inside are very. I don't want to say maybe goes against the community, but like I feel like when you look at it from a realistic standpoint and like you're just like keeping it real with it is so fucking easy to play on the inside big and threes.
Well, how about this? It should be that easy, but it's not.
But it is, because they're, no matter what, a center on the inside is going to get theirs. They are going to get rebounds, and it's going to rely on just like their guards hitting some nut shit, or them, or a center dropping borderline like 16, 18 points because they're just giving up the slip, or they're just going up with each time. Yeah, it is easy. The difference will come in on the defensive end, which I think that's where Dietrich really makes his mark. But I feel like the offense is kind of like it's very cookie cutter, right? With the way that your job is to set screens, hold the screen, listen to the guard, and just grab a free rebound. And then it's 3v3. So like making a read off it is not very hard.
Can I pose a mathematical kind of situation to you, and to explain why it doesn't work? Because I agree with you, it should be easier, but the fundamental reason that it doesn't work is because over the course of a long period of time, you are forcing your team to miss a lot of shots, and you're kind of hoping that the rebounding is going to make it work. Like take the guards who this year have been, trying to do this, right? MDS shooting 41.9% from 3. Kai shooting 42.5% from 3. Greens and them tried it, 47.2% from 3. Like, these teams that are trying it are literally just tucking the ball. Dre, 41%. Like, the whole point of this is to chuck up the ball, try to get some contested threes to go in. And if you don't rebound and continuously get kind of this cycle of open 3-point shots, and you know me, Dirk, I love it. I'm a shoot more threes guy. However, over the course of a 5-game series, you're missing too many shots. Like, if over the course of a 5-game series, your guard goes 1 for 6 3 times, you're probably going to lose 2 of those games. And all of a sudden, have math working against you, because now you have to win a random one, then you have to make it work against you. The reason the Heat do it so well is because you look at the Heat's team defense. their team defense is incredible. And they also force a lot of turnovers because Maddie has been great this year. So they're able to balance out the lack of shot making with on-ball turnovers. The math is not working for these other teams. It's not working for the Sixers. It's starting to really turn on the Hawks in kind of an ugly way. It's starting to turn on all these teams. The Warriors got flipped on it. The math just doesn't work out for it. And I'm worried that teams are getting sucked into it, and it's going to cost them their seasons. That's why I think Dietrich is like the only guy who can do it. The math suggests this shouldn't work at all, but they're somehow making it work.
Well, like, so I can't remember. I mean, I haven't played 2K24 in a minute, other than like some quick match and stuff. But I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure even in the retail version of the game, or like years prior, when you got a rebound, it wouldn't completely reset like your adrenaline and stamina. Like
Mhm.
it would boost it a little bit. I'm pretty sure on the league build, if I'm not mistaken, I need to go back and look because I remember bringing it up during the broadcast. I think when you get offensive rebounds in a league build, I think your guards get everything back in its entirety.
I think you're
Um,
right.
I would have to double check again. I generally don't know because I haven't played retail in a very, very long time. But I think that's another reason why this does work out and why you see guards like Kai or anybody else on the inside that are willing to just shoot nut shit. Because
Mhm.
like, oh, cool. And like, unless I go cold, I'm still gonna be fine because your takeover doesn't go down off missed shots this year either.
Yeah.
So that's why like these guys will be like at 85%. They'll shoot a heavy contested shot, gets bumped down a couple percentage. So it plays into the style perfectly to where you're not really going to get entirely punished because you do have a center down there. That's what makes it these performances when you have like a power forward who can go toe to toe with Dietrich and like snag just that one crucial rebound to be able to shift the play. Like that one rebound a power forward gets over a inside center
Mhm.
is the most impactful rebound, especially late game scenarios. Because like you're fighting an uphill battle of I'm going to give up probably 8 offensive rebounds.
Yep.
But if I can just get one defensive rebound in that late game situation, we might be able to turn the game completely upside down and be able to take it. But it is unique. I do like the difference of the play style.
Mhm.
Like they don't they don't play the boring style of an inside center of like,
No.
let me just go down to Dietrich. Kai is my favorite threes player, probably all time to watch. I'm giving him that label. He is electrifying every single time that man has stepped out on the floor since
Yeah.
he came into the NBA 2K League. So that's why I think that this works. But yeah, I think the Heat will take this one
Yeah.
handily in round one.
One last thing on the inside. Another big part of how the Heat have been good this year, they're not turning the ball over a lot, which means that they're getting a lot more meaningful possessions than a lot of the teams that are like doing the inside. Like the Hawks lead the league in turnovers. The Sixers are seventh in the league. Like that kind of level of turnovers is tough to really keep up with. Plus the missed shots, plus the missed rebounds sometimes. Like I just don't know how sustainable it is, and I wonder if Atlanta is going to detach themselves from this and try to go back to something pure because they just don't have the defense to keep up with this. All right, let's continue on. Pistons versus Cavs. A matchup that in the beginning of the season, Dirk would have electrified me. It would have said lightning bolts through my skin, and instead I am left with nothing but what could have been, as this Cavs Legion team is just so not fun to watch. The Pistons played the switch open group play like they didn't really care, and credit to them, it doesn't really matter. They're basically in the playoffs already, but I'm hoping to see the kick-ass Pistons GT that I'm used to seeing. God bless this Cavs team, man. I don't know what's going on. It's in their heads now, too. You can see it. When they go up to take threes, I don't know if it's us applying pressure to them. I don't know if they know what's going on, but, like, they know that they cannot shoot right now. And it's really starting to change the way that they play 2K, and it's very funny to watch. I feel for them. I hope they can start hitting some shots, but Detroit's probably the worst matchup that Cleveland could have asked for in this first round.
I mean,
It's unfortunate.
they're going up against a team that's been getting YMCA. They've
It's
been
so
like
unfortunate.
they get wide open, and the people are like, just shoot the ball, like we don't care, and they'll miss. And I like the Pistons should take this. The worst thing that you can do against a team that struggles with shooting is you have shooting struggles, which Ant's been killer with those. Had just having those games where starts off like shooting some crack. It'll be like 0 for 7 by the end of the game, and he'll come out with a loss. I think for the Pistons, right? When you're now looking at the history of this team ever since the slam open from last year, they continuously keep having to fight through the lower bracket.
Oh, they
We have
love it.
yet to see Pistons GT be in the upper bracket and take it all the way since then. We need to see that. Like we can't see them, win like a round here, go to the second round, get bumped down, go to the third. Like this is supposed to be one of the best 3v3 teams that we have in the league. They need to be one of the teams that's fighting in like the winners final.
Oh, Dirk. No. Come on. They live for it. They just until they just don't care. And then all of a sudden they do. And they're like, oh, I guess we'll get up for this matchup. Fine.
It's the tunnel vision way.
Dude, it's so funny.
The amount of times that we would go down like 0-1 in a series back in the day, and then we claw back. We just need that extra added pressure for some stupid reason. But yeah, I mean, it's even if you do like lose that game one, unless the Cavs have just got their shooting figured out, which again, I'm still shocked I haven't talked to any of the guys, but I really would like to know why they're struggling with
I
shooting.
genuinely can't believe it. It's unbelievable. Dude, TB Shifte is the worst shooter in the league this year. The worst. Flat out.
'Cause, like,
easy. 29% from three.
It can't be an internet thing because that's an easy solution to fix. And we've seen Cavs Legion over like how long have they had this facility since season 1? Like I don't know.
I'm
It's weird.
lost. I'm lost. I'm confused. Very strange. But alas, they might be dropped down to the lower bracket within like the first hour and a half of today's show. So shout out to the Cavs. Oh, now we get to do it. Here we go. Our third match of the day. Knicks Gaming taking on Hornets Venom GT, who is on probably one of the all-time great slides in 2K League history. Like, not to a point where you want to make fun of them, just to the point where, like, you're watching it and you just can't believe what's happening. Dirk, they were 1-12, as you mentioned to me before the show. 1-12 during the Switch Open group play. A negative 88-point differential for 6.77 a game. They lost their games by an average of 7 points per game, by far the lowest of any team. What an implosion. What an implosion.
Don't get it.
Unbelievable.
You go through all that BS. You go through all that crazy shit last year of like not having a guard. And if we get a guard, it would be good. And like you have a guard. You have Trey Dollars. You immediately went off of him, and then you go over to Mooch when things got tough.
They moved off of Trey fast.
and then you went to fucking Fluke Lock, Saint, and Crown as a threes lineup, which again was probably just trolls like, let's get these games out of the way. But what kind of fucking momentum are you gathering by completely like probably draining the confidence of the guards?
Yeah, they're done. They're done now.
We don't get to go play the other two games.
Trey wasn't even playing that bad. Like he wasn't look, he wasn't blowing the doors off anybody. But I have him 9.5 assists or 9.5 points per game, 9.5 points per game, 2.1 assists per game, about 0.25 steals a game, 78% true shooting, 50% from three. That's fine. He was fine. So that's fine.
I don't get it.
He's 11th in the league in 2KR. He was playing like a slightly above average or average to slightly above average guard, and they just benched him. I don't understand what happened.
That's the thing is that like this is one of these organizations where Trey Dollars, Fluke Lock, and Saint should be your three, no matter what.
Yeah, why are we? Give them as many minutes as possible. Who cares?
I don't give a shit if you're Kingsguard Gaming, you haven't won a game. You run that fucking lineup until its entirety, until the season is done.
Can I post something really funny to you? Trey Dollars last year, when we think of him as a 3v3 player, did nothing during the slam. His best tournament last year was during the switch. Dot Squad went 12-1 during the switch and then made money during that tournament because, like, they had gone into league build, they created good momentum. It was him, Dario, and Jolo, and they just kind of ran right through. Oops, I hit my drink. It was shocking to see them bench him so early instead of just giving him the time to figure it out. Like, why? What was the point of that? Like, unless their internal frustrations got so bad that they were like, okay, this kid is just terrible. But, like, I didn't see anything outrageously bad from Trey and that lineup to cause them to move off of it so quickly. They have to go back to it, right? Like, I don't know if they can. I wonder if Trey's confidence is shot now, but, like, they have to go back to it. There's no way that they can stick with the shenanigans, right?
Yeah, I don't think the confidence should be that shot to where it's like, okay, it's time to make some money. Like, get back out there, get in the lineup. Yeah, maybe they just need like a little bit of a break. But if they don't come out with Trey Dollars, Fluke, and Big Saint, like, pointless.
So I just want to say this. So a couple weeks ago, you and I brought up the in-person game to the Magic, where I had this whole spiel, right? They were 3-0. They had their own in-person event, and the
Mm.
Magic come out and absolutely 3-0 them. People were like, they got smoked in that series. And ever since then, it has been downhill. They started 3-0. They're now 4-8. They are 1-8 since they started 3-0 in series. It is shocking to me how quickly this team deteriorated. Look, they still have an opportunity to pull it back, but as it stands, Dirk, they went from being like a decent, maybe playoff team. They have the worst point differential in the league. They have worse point differential than the Kings and the Mavs.
Yeah,
Wow.
well,
Stunning.
that's like the crazy part about it is they like still remember when they came into the Twitch chat and they're like, no one talks about us, no one respects us, trade out as player of the week, and then that's when the sweep came in with the Magic, and then everything went completely
They
downhill.
benched him like 2 weeks later. Wait, that's
Um
so funny. Come on.
I I don't get it. I don't get it.
That's crazy. Look, they got to figure it out because the 5 season is coming up fast, and they need Mooch and Trey. Like, there is no situation where they should be ad dropping one of those guys before 5v5. You drafted both of those guys to play together in fives. Like, I just don't want it to. I don't want to see this devolve any more than it has to. So let's hope they figure it out. But damn, Hornets.
Damn, Daniel.
Damn. Wow. What about Knicks Gaming? We didn't really talk about them. Malik's actually been looking pretty good this year. Quietly one of the best guards in the league again.
Yeah,
Just doing his thing. Doing his Malik thing.
yeah, they're just kind of like they're a team that I feel like with the progress from last year, obviously bringing in a new guy in Feast to get into the rotation. I feel like they're right at the same point where they were last year. To be completely honest with you, I haven't seen like for me personally like a giant jump up in their gameplay, right to where they've taken that next leap, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like that's why we maybe haven't talked about them a whole lot, is because we kind of know what to expect from them, and they're living up to the expectations, but they're not going above and beyond our expectations. I think is the
Right.
best way to put it.
Yeah, they've been good. They've just been kind of solid, moving through. The good news is that they likely will not face off against Glow Navy for a long time, who is back in there. So we'll see how the Knicks do. All right, we got to run through some of these series. We're already 20 minutes in. Magic Blazers, the Unguardable. That's just fantastic. Wow, that's epic. Yeah, the Unguardable. Feeling pretty good about Magic Gaming in this one. The Blazers are mixing up lineups. They seem to be falling off a bit. They don't really have an identity. Claw's been good, but this Magic Gaming team. So can I toss you a crazy stat? Because the Magic Gaming they're the crazy stat team of the year. Okay, so I was going through all the stats. You'd think to yourself, man, probably it'll probably be. Or sorry, hold on, I looked at the wrong stat. Never mind. We'll come. I'll come back later with a fun stat about Magic Gaming. Anyway, Magic Gaming versus Blazer 5. Who do you got?
Magic.
Magic.
I don't think I need to touch up on it too much. I like that B5, is trying to line up that we said that probably should have been the lineup going out there. Honestly, at this point, now would not be opposed. Maybe they switch back to the old lineup and try to make some magic happen. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they end up doing. These West Coast to East Coast matchups are always a little funky, right? Based on like server and stuff like that. But I saw what the Magic did to LA in that geographical department. So I got Magic Gaming.
All right, I think I'm right there with you. Celtics crossover taking on Rim Runners. The Rim Runners return. They were okay during the qualifier. They lost to GCL in the losers round 5. I like the Celtics a lot in this tournament, man. I think they can make a great run. They'll face the winner of Mavs and Wiz if they win, which could see them get to round 3. The Mavs and Wiz are pretty good, but the Celtics should be able to take care of them. They might be set up with a nice matchup against Gen G in round 3, a little bit of a revenge game. See if they can get past Gen G. But, yeah, I like the Celtics a lot as a dark horse to go far in the Switch Open here. I think they've kind of figured it out.
Yeah, I'll take them. I'm not sleeping on the Rim Runners like I was the first go around though. Because the one thing I do know is that when you compete with 2K League teams to the highest level in your first tournament in there, that more than likely you're going to start to progress and get better as it goes on. It is a very tough matchup because the Celtics they're like one of those teams that, again, I feel like we're not really throwing them in the conversations to be like one of the best teams, but
they need a run. They need a run.
Yeah. Like every single time that we see them play, it's always like eye opening, like, oh shit, like Lecce is moving at a different level this year defensively. They're looking good. So I do think that Celtics will take it, but I would not. This is where I'll put a little upset alert tag potentially on this one.
Celtics had the second highest point differential during Switch Open group play. Rim Runners had the highest of any community team during the qualifier with a 5.4 point differential, dude. They went 9-5. They played great. So that'll be a really fun first round matchup. Mavs Wiz, Day Fry Bowl, part 2. Mavs starting to feel good about themselves. The Wiz getting a little shaky out there, Dirk. I figured Switch Open group play was going to be when we kind of saw them take a bit of an upswing. The upswing did not happen. Went 6-9, went 1-3. The Mavs might be catching this team at the right time. I think I'm going to take Dallas here. I think Day Fry gets his revenge.
Yeah, I think if they can build off of what they left off with, which I know for them, they're like, damn, man, like the last 2 games get a little bit of a break going into this tournament. I think that Dallas should take it, but would not be surprised again if it's another one of these matchups where the Wiz end up going. It's just tough because like when you analyze this matchup, pressure's on Fanta as always, but it's like you'll go as far as Fanta ends up taking you, which is what we finally ended up seeing in those last 2 games, and it looks spectacular. This is like the Fanta that we had honestly been waiting for when he came into the league in season 5, took the year off, and then now back in the league this year. So, just for the sake of going against you, I'll take the Wiz.
Oh, okay. Oh, fight. We're going to be tossing hands. We're going to toss hands. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Gen G taking on the GCL underdogs. Gen G a little bit shakier during group play than I would have liked. They were good. They weren't great. 11-7. Decent point differential. I am interested to see how they play. This should be an easy run for them. If they win against GCL, they'll face the winner of Hawks Warriors. The Hawks and Gen G obviously have had some good battles over the years, so that'll be fun. I got Gen G here against the Twins.
Gen G.
Yeah. Hawks Warriors, the rematch. I'm saying a lot. I gotta stop saying I got Hawks talent in this one. I think the Hawks are playing decent ball, but this will be the true test of the inside. I think the Warriors might have something special for them.
Special in what way?
I
Do you know something I don't know?
No, I don't.
But
they've had a week to gameplay. They've had a bunch of time to gameplay for this game.
I think if this becomes just a head-on collision of inside bigs just going at it 24/7, I think that the Hawks will end up taking it. I think if the Warriors switch it up and just go back to a more traditional style play, they could end up shaking some things up. I do like the Hawks in this one, though. I am going to go with Hotlanta.
Okay, me too. Lakers Gaming taking on Handles. Probably don't have to spend too much time on this one. Shout out to Lakers Gaming for just they're on cruise control, man. They absolutely cruised through group play. 12-3, average point differential of 4, number 1 in the league, 60 point differential, 4-0, 80%. Like they just cruised, bro. They're amazing. It's really funny. Like if you go back to the other great teams that we have had in this league, Dirk, in this game mode, they all kind of do this, right? Like they all kind of go up and down. They have their peaks.
Yeah.
They just cruise. This is nothing to them. It's easy. It's crazy how simple they make this look. Like they lose a game here or there, kind of. This is insane.
That'd like be the one knock that I have on them is that they don't get a lot of sweeps. And
but they don't need them.
Like that's what I'm saying. It's like that, but that's like if that's the one thing you have to change, then you're completely
they've had
fine.
like
It's
two
you're
sweeps.
showing out every single game.
They've had like 3 or 4 sweeps all year, but they're 14-1. They're 43-19 on the season. They have 190 points. They have the best point differential in the league by over a point. Dirk, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it's genuinely insane.
This is easily the most dominant start that we've seen to a 3 season. Easily the consistency from the slam. Maybe we always think like, oh, well, teams now adapted, right? Like they've had enough time. They could figure out how to beat them. So they'll come out in the switch and dominate. They're like, it's the Shifty Kai effect, man. Like depending how this bracket goes. I mean, if they win this tournament, Kai's MVP.
Yeah,
I think even if they just make a deep run and lose in like the grand finals, Kai's still the MVP.
I think he's set up to have maybe one of the most dominant. He's kind of set up to have the most dominant season in 2K League history if he continues this through 5s and they just dominate like this. I mean, we're talking all time stuff right now. If this keeps going,
yeah.
And also, I find it so funny that this past week, they did get pushed a little bit by Blazer 5. They got brought to a game 5. And the Blazers had them. The Blazers had them. Claude missed an open 3 for the series. And then Kai just comes right down the court and it hits like a 30-footer for the game. And we had the Blazers cameras up, and it just broke them. It broke them. And to the Lakers, they cut the Lakers. It was nothing. They're like, hey, we won. They're ruthless. They're absolutely ruthless. And then later that night, by the way, after getting pushed to a game 5 against the Blazers, they swept the T-Wolves 21-17, 22-15, 21-12. Like, get out of my game. It's insane. They're nuts. They're going to win, by the way. I think they're my pick to win the switch open. I should get to the end.
Yeah, wait till the end there, bud.
Pacers gaming, T-Wolves gaming.
Oh, the rainbow. That's some good.
Cooks versus Bear to Beast. Once again, always a fun matchup. I believe the Pacers played the T-Wolves in group play. I could be wrong. I feel like I saw a couple tweets about them playing. Hold on. Yes, they did. Pacers gaming won in a game 5, 22-16.
Well, I guess that the main thing is with these trades, do you think any of the lineups change? Like, do you think that bringing this up? I could see a world where Subgoda goes to the. I could see the world where Subgoda goes to the 4, and Jay Snack stays at the 3, or flip flop those guys. I mean, come on, that's like interchangeable with like the lockdown of power.
I think they flipped them. I think it's time. I think it's time for Jay Snags to be put at the 4. He needs to start taking over the game from the big spots. We're seeing a lot of players start to figure out the power forward spot. Connor's starting to dominate. Loki Gale starting to dominate. Like, I think Jay Snags is that quality of player. I think it's time to put him on the big and let him cook.
Yeah, I think that'd be the other thing. I think for the T-Wolves, I don't see. I think they're just gonna go out there with that same 3 again.
Yeah, I don't think Range will play 3s for them.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It'll be a pretty good 5s lock for them, though. I actually don't hate that move for them for 5s, but we'll get the 5s in a couple of weeks. Grizz Gaming, Isles Gaming team. Probably the most interesting matchup of the first round. Isles looked good. Played well again during I believe they won the qualifier. They did. Got 110 points, went 12-5. Good point differential. Played 17 games. That was a lot, but they played well. Took down the Dribble Gods twice to close things out. Kenny Zeus and company. I like the Grizz here. I think Vandy is really starting to hit an upswing on his games. Don and Icy are starting to kind of close it down together, but they're going to get pushed hard by this Isles Gaming team. I'm not going to put the upset flag on this one because I think the Grizz are just flat out better, but it is a shame that this Isles Gaming team might pick up a loss so early because I actually think they could have made a pretty deep run in this tournament. This is just a really brutal draw for them in round 1.
I think Isles Gaming team will take it.
Wow, really?
I think. Give me. I've had a minor upset alert. I'll go major upset alert.
Major upset alert. Wow.
I think that if there's kind of the same thing in the slam compared to Isles Gaming team and like with the upsets and how good like rim runners ended up looking too. They were easily the 2 best community teams that we had going in there. And Isles Gaming team showed a lot that they were able to take over some of these games. I think that if they were playing against, some of the other top seeded teams in this, it might be a little bit different. I think the Grizz, while as good as Vandy's looks, I still think that they are a very, very beatable team with some of their inconsistencies. So I'll take Isles Gaming team. That would be my first upset for them going through over the Grizz.
Wow. You're going to do Vandy like that in round 1?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What are you going to say when Grizz Gaming win?
Bippity boppity boop. The great Vandini just pulled a rabbit out of the fucking hat.
How do you squirm out of this stuff? Dukes and Vanitos, Nets GC. Duke's actually been playing pretty decent ball during the switch. Looked good. 9-8, positive point differential. 1-2 series in a row. Ryan 1-1, starting to hit some shots. They seem to have found a decent lineup. I feel like the Nets, I don't want to say the Nets season hinges on this series, but if they lose this series, it's not great, Bob. It's not great. This is a series that the Nets need to win. This is a must-win. This is a must-win series for the Nets.
I would be stunned if they lost this. I think the Nets are always good enough to at least win their first round matchup.
I hope so.
And make some a couple round run in the upper bracket. I think despite how bad that they looked in group play, I think with them just kind of getting back into their rhythm of having their OG lineup out there, the OG archetypes, I think they will be just fine. I think the Nets should be able to take this easily.
It's so crazy, Dirk, and I hate to say this. Ever since you and I mentioned on broadcast how it just seems like in the biggest of the big games, the Nets just seem have to been faltering the past couple of years. They they've they've tumbled again.
It's always a trend, man. Like with some of these guys,
It's
and
not great.
it's always a glaring factor why the team loses. It's like the same thing. Remember, I brought up to you like with Cooks, with like he'll play phenomenal in some series, but when it gets down to like some of the really important games and it has the poor shooting,
Yeah,
then just staring right at you. Like, yes, there are other factors. It's never just a one person why they lose, but when you look at some of the offense, you're like, it's hard to really like put anybody else into a position like, yep, this is why this ended up happening. I think the Nets will be okay though.
me too.
Again,
They just yeah, I think they got it. Sorry, continue.
it's group play for a reason. You know, everybody makes it. Of course, you start struggling. Maybe
That's
you're not
true.
like, ah, man, screw this. Like for the money, for the money, they shift to a different mindset. So I
Okay.
think they'll take this.
The nature of the struggle. I got my eye on it. All right, I'm just gonna say that. I got my eye on it. Jazz Gaming versus the 3 seed Jazz Gaming, the resurgent Jazz Gaming, playing their saxophone Jazz Gaming, going up against Glow Navy Glow Skeetos. Rel is back. Lie is back. Beware. Call your mother. Call your children. Glow Navy is back to take more souls. Will they take Jazz Gamings in round 1, Dirk? Because that's what they do. They take team souls. They
Uh,
ruin your season.
Here's my thing. Like, I can only go off of what I ended up seeing because in the closed qualifier stream, we didn't watch a lot of Glow Navy.
Yeah.
I think like we caught a glimpse of it. So I can only go off of what I ended up seeing when they played in the closed open, and they look
Yeah.
bad. I know obviously them being in this position now, the switch was definitely a little bit better. I think I think the Jazz will take it. I don't think we have that same type of intensity and uh fearfulness of Glow Navy, if you will. Like I feel like last year looked at this team like, oh shit, we got fucking Glow Navy in a matchup. I don't think they have that same aura anymore to the team and the way that they've been playing here so far. So I will take the Jazz in this.
I'm gonna just put the minorest of minor upset alerts on this game. Just cause the Jazz are back, right? They figured it out. They went 3-1. They boosted themselves back into the season. It would just be so unfortunate for Glow Navy to take them down in a 5-game series. And I'm not saying I think it's gonna happen. I'm just saying sometimes the sports gods are cruel, Dirk, and they hit you when you
Mhm.
least expect it.
Right in the
So,
balls.
right in the balls. They'll get you when you least expect it. So I just I hope that I just saying. Just putting it out there. Raptors taking on the Bucks next series. Okay, Derek, here we go. I'm gonna put you on the spot here. I want you to try to guess what their lineup, both of these teams' lineup, is gonna be for this series, and I want to see how many players you can get right out of 6. Because we don't have them yet. We're recording this at 1:30, so we don't have this yet.
I'm gonna go with
Okay, write this down.
Johnny Red at guard,
Okay,
Dawsix at lock,
okay,
and Retro at the 4.
okay. And for
I
the
think I think
Raptors,
for the Raptors, I
you gotta guess all 6.
shit.
Come on, buddy.
I think they're gonna go the symptoms.
Okay.
Was it symptoms, Hom, and no, sorry. Was it the Antoine Love, Hom, and symptoms lineup?
Antoine Love Hom symptoms. Okay.
I think that's what they'll go out with. Who the fuck knows?
Oh, this is a great game. Yeah, man. Shout out to the Bucks for, along with the Cavs, having the most disappointing 3 season. Dime's obviously leaving to have a child, threw a wrench into that, but also, damn, it's been a rough ride down the mountain for Bucks gaming. I'm gonna take the Bucks in this series just because the Raptors are also kind of mid, but I think that's as far as the Bucks go. I think they'll lose 2 after that.
Yeah, I think the Bucks will take this. With the Raptors showing us no consistency, it was very confusing. The whole strategy of like, okay, we lost one game, like let's go ahead and make a platoon swap out two of the three positions that are out there on the floor. Obviously, they're not going to do that in bracket play. And if they do, then I need to have a one-on-one conversation with Coach Nick Gartrell about what the fuck is going on. But I think that in a world of threes where consistency is key, at least the Bucks have shown us some consistency, right? Like they went CP, Dawsich, Johnny Red, I think for every single game, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
So, but I just don't think that the inside does not suit the way that this team should play. And I still stick to it. I know we had the conversation like with getting CP hot and Johnny Red. I still think I liked what I saw from Johnny Red
Yeah,
more than what I saw from CP. But again, I haven't seen CP with a pop, so maybe that could be the key if Johnny Red ends up going over towards that. But I do think that the Bucks will take it. Oop, 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 oop.
go Bucks. I still believe. NBL Oz Gaming taking on Dribble Gods. The underdogs are back. The underoos, I should say. NBL Oz 3-1 during the Switch Open group play. Played well. C's starting to come around. Bag motion, starting to remember how to hit shots. Plu, hopefully, will join them in hitting shots this week. Dribble Gods, man. Can Kenny Zeus get this team over the hump? He hasn't been able to yet. I think this is a great draw for NBL. I'm just gonna say that one. It's a great draw for them. Coming off the group play they had, about a week off of playing. This is about as good of a draw as they could ask for.
Yeah, it was like it was a 3-1, but it wasn't a very pretty 3-1
Mm-hmm.
for NBL. Anytime that you look at somebody that was 3-1, I would automatically look at the point differential. And when you're in the negative, even if it's by a slight margin, I'm like, not the greatest. But they got the job done. And again, that at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I already touched upon how I felt about Dribble Gods and Kenny Zeus in the last tournament. I'm still gonna carry that over to here. You're gonna have to have a big performance from him. I think when it was in the slam, I know the first couple games, or at least in that first series, he started off very slow offensively. I want to say the first
Yeah.
couple games and ended up losing. I think they pulled one back. Then they ended up losing the series.
Yeah.
Same pressure kind of being applied over towards here. And if you're NBL Odds Gaming, it's not the matchup that you want to lose, especially after riding that wave of momentum that you now have coming over from the group play. So I do think that NBL Odds Gaming will take it. It might be close, might not be. I really don't know, but I think NBL will win.
I agree. That's very well said. Our last series of the day to close out a decently short podcast. Wow, for the first time. Kingsguard Gaming taking on 76ers GC. The Kings, the 11 seed, playing well, getting some wins, sweeping the Warriors in an in-person series. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Swept them. Or no, sorry, not swept. I'm a liar. Sorry. 3-1.
Who do the Warriors run? Did they run their inside lineup?
That's a great question. I know that the
Where was
Kings
it
won
being-
one of the games like 22-5 or something.
Where was it being streamed?
It was on the 2K League
channel?
Yeah, it was on Monday.
Oh.
It was on Monday. It was kind of a weird.
Shit.
It was a weird
Okay,
time.
that's
It was a
why.
weird time. Yeah,
I was like, wait, what?
The Warriors ran out Mama Cease Nay. The Kings ran out Score Kick Carry. And the Kings won 3-1. Looking pretty good. Playing some good basketball. Guess who's starting to hit some shots, dude? Score decided to join us, and not a second too late, because let me tell you, Dirk, okay? This is what makes the Switch great. Because every single year, go back the past couple years, we always have a team that kind of figures it out. It kind of just figures it out. Like the Blazers kind of figured it out during the Switch last year. We had the Pacers that were good during the Slam. Then they dominated during the Switch Open. I wonder, what if the Kings are like a sneaky good threes team now that Score is kind of like on this up and up here? He has a lot of gaps that he can keep hitting as he gets better and better. I wonder if the Kings are kind of a weird dark horse to go deep. I don't think they can make the playoffs. I think they basically have to win the goddamn Switch for that to happen. But just put it out there. Kings playing good basketball. I don't discount a bit of a run here. Watching the Sixers sweep them in round one. Just to make me look dumb.
I was about to say, well, it's the best way to cool someone down who's maybe figured out their shooting.
So the inside out of
have them play an East Coast team.
Oh, wait, that's right. Not the servers.
I think
Philly.
I think Philly's gonna take this one. I think that even if they were like
brutal.
playing in the same region, whatever it may be, I still think that Philly would end up taking it. As much as I want to sit here and be like, yay, the Kings have figured it out. I don't know. You got to show me a lot to be like, after starting off winless, and finally you get 2 wins, and like they've figured it out.
No,
They have not.
they might have figured it out. They
Might have.
might have figured it out.
And then now watch this. They will play Philly. They will lose in round 1.
That would make me really sad.
I know it's disappointing, but sometimes the truth hurts, especially when the truth is centralized.
That was good. That was funny. All right, so those are our first round predictions. It is time to predict. Well, actually, we can wait until. Well, no, because we did it once this time, and then we did our predictions again after the first round of games. So, before we get into the first round of games tonight, who do you think is going to win the Switch Open, and who do you think will be your MVP? Finals winner MVP.
Lakers gaming in the finals through the winners bracket.
Wait, hold on. I gotta write this down. One second. Wait. I like to go to podcast predictions because we did this last time. Okay. Who'd you have?
Lakers in the finals through the upper bracket.
Okay.
Oh man.
What a team.
Now this one's tough for the lower side. I want to say Genji. The only reason I don't though is because I go back to when we watched them play the Magic.
Okay.
And when we were listening to their comms and how just unstructured and how bad everything sounded when they played a good team.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Lakers versus Magic rematch again.
Ooh, Lakers
taking
Magic rematch.
And Lakers taking it. Kai back-to-back MVP.
Wow.
I genuinely think that these are the 2 best teams, and then there's just a giant gap, and it drops down to the 3rd team. Like they're just on another level.
Do you know what? Man, I have to change my pick now because he took my guy. I was on a walk this afternoon and I was like, I'm gonna ask for Derek's finalists, and he's never gonna predict Lakers Magic Part 3. And of course you do, and you take my thunder. Damn it.
You had the same thing?
Yeah, I had Lakers Magic Part 3 with Kai winning MVP again. But now I'm going to switch my pick because I don't want us to have the same pick. So I'm going to go Lakers Heat check. I'm going to put I'm going to ride Heat check to the finals cuz I think I think Dietrich is on an all-time 3v3 Ramo-esque heater. But the Lakers are still going to win. I'm going to take Kai to win MVP.
Wait, so you think... Okay, so you have the Heat, I'm assuming, going through the lower side. You have an inside big making a lower run. Or do you have the Lakers?
Well, lower is tough so here's the thing. The Lakers and the Heat are the top 2 seeds in the Switch. So they will not play against each other until the semifinals. So... Like, yes, I think the Lakers will be upper and the Heat will be lower, but also, like, I don't think it will truly matter because they take so long until they face each other, if that makes sense. Whereas the Magic, the Magic are also on the Heat side, so. Ooh, that might be the whole tournament.
I'll see if I can go back-to-back on my predictions.
Yeah, you're a killer. Okay, any last words before we ship out the pod?
Nah. I think it'll be a good tournament. Whether everything goes again. So very excited to see how everything ends up playing out. And yeah, it'll be really interesting once we see some of these teams, especially the ones that have like their seasons on the line that may be on the bubble, or the ones that are like, well, we're not making the playoffs regardless, so let's see what the fuck we can do.
I am incredibly excited to see which team takes this tournament over, because the last couple of years, you know, it's really dictated how we've looked at the rest of the season. You know, we thought that the Pacers are going to win the title back in season 5 after they won the Switch. Huge disappointment. After Dukes won the title or won the Switch Open last year, again, we knew that they were going to be a huge threat. So I think, again, the teams that are at the end of this Switch Open will likely be the teams that, you know, dictate the entire rest of the season for threes. So should be fun. We got a bye week after that too.
Yeah, I was about to say, we do have that big gap. Well, so what, before teams that are actually in the playoffs play, it's a 2-week gap, right? Because
2-week gap.
So because is the steal just one day? Because I thought we were in person for the steal.
I did too. We're not.
Yeah.
The
So I'm not sure if it's just the
Steel.
one
Hold
broadcast day
on.
or if it's a Friday, Saturday, or I'm assuming Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, I actually don't know the answer to that question. Might just be one day. 3v3 Steel Open. Yeah, they don't have the schedule up yet online. I think it's
Oh,
just one day.
let me go look on my contract
Yeah,
real
go
quick.
check that out.
That's how when I'm curious about what days that we work and what days we have off, I just go straight to my contract and look at the days. So the Steel was a Friday and Saturday, April 19th
Okay,
and
so
20th.
okay.
420 2K League broadcast, brother.
Yes,
Blazer.
sir. Wow, we're idiots.
I'm gonna wear my legacy Illinois stuff on broadcast and be like, yep.
Yeah, brother.
That-
Oh,
What's
and
up,
also,
brother?
oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. Also, by the way, should mention now that we're at the official end of the podcast, how your and I's basically entire mood for this spring will be decided on Sunday. The biggest soccer / football match of the season, Arsenal Manchester City. Quick preview. We have to talk about it. I've been dying to talk about it. I'm terrified. I think Pep is going to eat us alive. I think it'll be a 2-1 Arsenal win. It sounds like John Stones and Kyle Walker are not going to play. I'm ready.
Which
My
means it's
body
a
is ready.
fucking Arsenal 2-0 victory.
Dos Acero. My body's ready. I'm ready. I'm locked in, powered by AT&T. It's going to be nuts.
Well, so I will only be able to watch a little bit of the game, and then I have to play in my finals on Sunday. So
brutal.
Yeah, little Easter Sunday. So I'll be able to watch.
So
the game.
hold on. So let me get this straight. So your entire it comes down to now 2 soccer matches for you. Your own soccer match, and then Arsenal going for basically for the Premier League title.
Yeah. I don't know. So like I'll definitely be more engaged probably on the Man City Arsenal thing. I'm excited to play in this final. I'm also just very excited. I'm like, holy shit, my first year playing goalkeeper on my end that I made a final. And so like I'm just especially with all the fucking injuries I had and how annoying and stressful that was. So I'll watch the game probably before on my drive up to my actual game. I think my game's at 11:15. I know it kicks off my time 10:30 a.m. So, but yeah, I'll be excited once my game's done to quickly jump over and see the panicking text from you about, oh fuck, this happened.
I'm gonna be.
Hopefully, I'll get word that after my game that we just beat the living shit out of the Man City.
Dirk, if we beat the living shit out of Manchester City, I'll be the happiest man alive. There's no sports team probably on planet Earth right now that I despise more than Manchester City. I can't stand them. They represent everything that is evil about sports to me. So, God, I hope we crush them.
Oh yeah, I'm looking. Oh, Ederson's out for this too.
Dude, Ederson's out, Stone's out, Walker's out. I want to slaughter them.
Is KDB?
Yeah, he's playing. Him and Rodri are both playing. And Holland. So they will obviously it'll be a game, but yeah, can't wait for the ass kicking. Okay, that concludes our Arsenal vs Manchester City preview. We will see you guys tonight on the broadcast. Well, Dirk and JT will. I will see you guys on Friday. Shorter night tonight, Dirk. I believe we only go until 9 tonight. No, full night tonight.
Yeah. We have the solo game at 9, which I don't think we had last week, if I'm not mistaken.
No, we did. Yeah, they pushed it to 8:15. Maybe we only have 2 all channels tonight, so yeah, we have that one series at 9 tonight, Pacers T-Wolves. So we'll pay attention to that. All right, we'll get this part out to you guys, and we will see you guys in the chat. Adios.
Goodbye.